All right, we are officially live over on YouTube, Alpha Day Trading. You guys want to get prepared for today? I get my analysis, my game plans, see my scanners that I pay thousands of dollars a year for, and you want to get some free game and value and education this morning, come on over to YouTube, Alpha Day Trading. We are officially live. All right, come on over, say good morning. We'll be on the mic right at 9 o'clock. All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Before we get into it and really get all excited, let's do a quick sound check. You guys know me. I'm always messing stuff up. I'm always configuring things, and, I'm sure there's going to be an issue. So let's go ahead and do a quick little sound check while we have a couple seconds before we dive officially into it. Inside the chat, let's make sure we're all set. You can hear my beautiful voice. You can see my beautiful, luscious face. I can see yours. You guys all look beautiful. And over on YouTube, how we all doing? Before I even look at the comments, I guarantee you guys are saying you can hear it out of one audio channel. And so now you can hear it out of two audio channels. So you guys should be all set over on YouTube. And again, Brian, good morning. Roof Coasting, Glenn, what's good? Good morning. And everybody else, hit me with a good morning. Make sure you can hear me. We're going to dive into it. We're going to get you guys prepared for today's trading session. Have some fun. Ladies and gentlemen, inside of chat, how we doing? Alpha Nation, good morning. And happy Friday. Trader Adam, Stir, Greed is good. Hunter, Corey, what's up, traders? Good morning. What did I tell you guys yesterday? No more heads up. All right, if I say good morning and I don't see you guys hit me with a big old good morning, and I see that you're inside a chat, you're going bye-bye for the day. 3 strikes, you're out. You don't like it? I don't care. Hit me with a good morning because it makes me feel good. It does. It makes me feel all bubbly on the inside. I'm joking. If you don't want to say good morning, it's okay. You're just lame. All right, Tracy, she's not lame. Steve, not lame. Greed is good, not lame. If you don't say good morning, you're lame. I'm going to see cancellation, cancel. I'm joking. I'm joking, guys, right? It's humor. In a really bad sense of humor at that, but it's me trying to be humorous, all right? Good morning again. Let's get to it. Let's make it happen, and let's end our week strong and profitable. Victor, how we doing? Frank, Just D'Angelo, how we doing? Andres, Stefan, Tina, good freaking morning over on YouTube. Let's get with it, guys. We got a lot to talk about. Okay? So here's what I want to point out. Number one, look at ETAO. There's no reason for the stock to be moving, but look at the daily chart, right? Drop, pop, drop. This was like a merger or a new IPO or a name change, right? When you see this type of like daily price action, right? You start to get some volume. We open, whether that's a SPAC merger, whether that's whatever the case is, right? You got that drop, pop, drop, right? You see that type of movement with ETAO, right? What stock moved yesterday that had a very, very similar daily chart that just kind of started to move out of nowhere? That was OCEA, right? Look at that daily chart. Not a lot going on. This is either a SPAC, merger, acquisition, whatever the case is. We got that drop, pop, drop, and then the sucker just starts taking on off and squeezing here a bit out of nowhere. This was a lower float stock as well, and the stock ran at one point like it was like 400%, 300% on the day. I'm not saying ETAO is going to do that, but what I'm trying to get at is the way penny stock market moves. You see a lot of sympathy. You see a lot of trends, right? That's how small caps are. Like we had the COVID trend. Everything COVID related was ripping. We just had an AI trend for about a week to where anything that was AI, chat GPT related was ripping. Sometimes we have moving average squeezes with these penny stocks. The suckers rip. The highest short squeeze stocks in the market, they rip. Mid-candle breakouts, you see everything breaking out with a mid-candle, right? You see trends in the penny stock market. And so that's what I'm trying to bring your attention to is look at this possible trend, right? ETAO looks identical to OCEA, and it's just a psychological mindset approach. Like, I noticed that. I thought that. What do you think 80 to 90% of other traders are thinking as well? Wow, could ETAO rip like OCEA? Because I know how penny stocks move. I know there's a lot of trends in the penny stock market. And when a trend catches fire and it heats up and it catches some momentum, you see that play out. So it's just worth noting. I'm not saying ETAO is going to do anything, but it's worth noting. Because again, yesterday, if you take a look at OCEA, what did it do in pre-market here with OCEA? Had a little bit of movement, but it wasn't doing all that much, but it had a little bit of movement. Then you take a look at ETAO, you got a little bit of movement. It's not really ripping and running, not really doing too much, but you're getting a little bit of action, a little bit of movement. So it's definitely worth watching if we pop and break over that $5 resistance level, right? That could be the level that we break that really brings in the volume and the traders, and we could see the stock rip and run. So it's worth watching to see if we get that big time volume, if we break out, if we start seeing the stock get halted, like we did several times yesterday with OCEA. We got halt strategies. We got the breaks. There's going to be some potential maybe here with ETAO. So it's definitely worth watching. Just seeing if we do get some volume, if we do see it moving a little bit better, activity moves in, and we start to break that $5 level. Okay, but it's a back burner sleeper at this point in time. It's definitely not the number one stock yet. It is a little bit of a back burner sleeper. All right. TMBR, I was going to discuss this, but we're falling back below 250. Looks weak. And then BAER right now is the best looking stock right now at this point in time, guys. BAER is going to be the number one that I would definitely focus on and keep this one on high watch. Why is the stock moving right now at this point in time? Right? Why is the stock moving right now at this point in time? Well, Jeffrey E. Kelter reported a 22% stake in a 13D filing on Thursday. Shares were up 37% due to that 13D filing. And this stock really got some great action, right? We closed at 442, opened at 5 on that filing, and the thing is absolutely ripping right now at this point in time. And we have some nice consistent movement with this stock. It's not choppy. It's not inconsistent like TMBR. If you look at that, this is a very clean, healthy looking stock. And that's why I like this stock, right? It's 21 million in float, nice low float stock, trading really nice volume. I know it's the number one stock on the leaderboard. It's up 80%, but look at how clean this is. Look at how consistent it is. And as long as we see that consistency continue to play on out and we get good development and it continues to honor its technicals, this is going to be a great stock to get involved with today, guys, as there's a lot of fantastic potential to the upside. So right now, at this point in time, we're going to have some support. I would say right around like the 770 level, right? Right around your VWAP. You can see that it likes to hold VWAP. And it's that prior high. I know we took some heat on this pullback, and we dipped below this prior high a little bit, but we did hold VWAP. We got back above that level, and we had a great push on up to our 875 resistance level. So I'm going to say VWAP is some pretty good support. This trend line will be some pretty good support, and I would say support right around this like 760 to, yeah, like I would say 760. I know I just said like 775, but I would say like best support, I would say like right around 760 to that 775 level, which is going to be the VWAP right off that prior high. But again, you could see that 760 would be a pretty nice area as well. But I'm really watching this trend line, right? So as long as we hold 760 at the lowest, 775 is a good support level because it's also the VWAP, and it's also right at this uptrend. I think if we hold that level, like I said, 760 at the lowest, that we see buyers present, we can still see buyers stepping on in and get that next spike and that next leg to the upside back to 875. Now, if you guys know anything about penny stocks, anything about small caps, what's the rule that we have with 875, right? 875, for some reason, is a psychological level of resistance for penny stocks. So why did we come up to 875 and back down? It's just that psychological level for penny stocks, right? Don't ask me why. It just is. But 80 to 90% of the time, when the stock runs up to 875 and backs down, and it comes up to 875 again, I would say 80%, sometimes 90% of the time, it's very, very high probability. We get that 875 break, and it goes straight up to $10. It's the 875 rule, the 875 break. So if you start breaking 875, the odds are the stock spikes quickly and squeezes to $10, right? And that's what you'd be looking for here with BAER. If you want to trade that break, up to you. Build a plan, $10 target, give it enough breathing room, and again, just execute and react if the trade says it's time to get in. But right now, you guys know how I like to trade. I like to get in at levels of support and then take profits into resistance and hold a little bit of my position if it breaks resistance and moves higher. I don't like buying the breaks, right? I don't want to be buying here at 875 for the run up to 10. It's just not my strategy and not my way of trading. I like to be getting in at support levels, taking profits into resistance. If it breaks, fantastic. I have a home run trade. If it doesn't break, it's okay. I'm able to scale out, lock in some profits, and get paid. I'm just not a fan of actually buying the breakout. But if you have a strategy and an edge and a way of trading these breakouts, and you have consistency with them on set stocks with set parameters, you guys got your 875 break coming on up for the spike to 10. I simply miss out on those trades, and it's okay. I just miss out, and I watch them rip and run without me, but it's okay because I'm staying disciplined, and I'm abiding by my rules of don't take the breakout trade, okay? Unless you're in a breakout market. And let's be honest, I don't really think we're in a massive breakout market, especially over the last few weeks of how we've seen the small cap market move. So those are going to be your top two plays today, guys. Very simple day. Very simple day. BAER, again, is your number one stock right now. You like the breakouts. You got the 875 break coming on up for that spike to 10. That could absolutely 100% happen in the next 19 minutes before the market opens. If we ever get that pullback into the trend line, into that 875 level and that VWAP, and we stabilize and hold, I will be looking to get involved down around that level of support for that eventual break of 875 up to 10 if it doesn't break right now at this point in time. But BAER is on high watch. High watch, okay? ETAO, back burner sleeper to see if it plays on out and it moves based on a little bit of that trend and that similarity with one of our top gainers from yesterday, which was OCEA, right? Very similar movement, very similar daily chart, very similar float and volume and pre-market movements, right? We'll see if there's any kind of trend here and see if ETAO ever gets some attention and action and see if it ever breaks 5. Breaks 5, that's where we can see some buyers really move in and start to see a nice spike to the upside. All right, now where am I focused today? You guys know me. I'm watching the SPY, ladies and gentlemen. We got Apple on watch. We got Alphabet, GOOG, on watch, and then Tesla and Nvidia. Trading some options because options are just more fun than trading penny stocks. I know you penny stock traders are getting sick and tired of hearing me say that, but I'm going to keep saying it so you guys come over to the dark side and actually start trading these very simple strategies with options, especially when your penny stocks are dead. So I'm going to continue to beat that into your heads because I don't want you to have a 2020 like what I had in 2022 to where it took me until November to just actually make the transition. Right? And it was a really, really good decision to make that transition. And I want to see you guys making good decisions as well. All right. So SPY, a couple things I want to point out. All right. At this point in time, we are slightly bearish. And here's why. Number one, you see that trend line we've been watching forever. We just cracked that trend line. Right. This is the trend line that goes back to the October low, connects in the December bottom, and then starts to connect here recently a couple of times. We came down and bounced. We came down and bounced yesterday. This week, we've tapped that trend line 2 times. Number one. Number two, we came down 2 times and hit our blue line. That's our 50 SMA, a very popular, very strong moving average that a lot of retail traders and institutions and analysts utilize as support and resistance, the 50 SMA, the 50 simple moving average. So you just cracked below 2 key levels of support. That trend line was very key. We're below it. 50 SMA, it's a support level, pretty strong. We're below it, but there's one line in the sand left. There's one area left that needs to drop below. The SPY needs to drop below it before we really indicate, hey, we're very bearish. We can come back down into the 375s. That level is going to be this red line on my chart that you guys see. Okay, that right here is our 200-day moving average. That is the strongest moving average that nearly everybody uses. Retail traders, institution, analysts, right? The 200 SMA is a very, very popular, widely used, and strong moving average that represents levels of support and resistance. That's how it's utilized. So we are below 2 key levels of support. We may see those levels now hold as resistance, but we still have one more final level that we have to crack below before we can start really saying, yeah, guys, we're bearish. Market's coming down to 387. Market's coming down to 378. Market's coming down into these lower levels. All right, so we got to crack below that red line. But right now, as long as we're below the blue line, and we just cracked that uptrend, we do have room to fall today into the 200 SMA. So I would say that we have another 3 points that we can drop today. And I would expect to see a bounce like we saw at the 50, right? We come down to the 50, we bounced. We come down yesterday to the 50, we bounced. I definitely think that we're going to come down to the 200 and bounce. So at the open with the SPY, if we stay below the blue line, that's your 50 SMA. That is going to now be resistance. We want to play puts down to the red line. That's your 200-day moving average at 393. Get out there because the likelihood and the probability of the SPY bouncing at that level is very, very high. So we could look to play puts off 396.33 resistance. That's the 50 SMA down to 393. Then we can get out and wait to see if it holds. And if it does hold, like the 50 SMA held yesterday, we could look to get out of those put contracts, flip long for a high probability bounce. Where to? Back up to the 50 SMA. And what we may see here before we actually make this decision on are we going to get back above the 50 SMA or are we actually dropping below the 200, right? We may sit here for a little bit and kind of chop, right? We may see the bounce off the 200, back up to the 50, back down to the 200. We may see some sideways movements, right? Maybe some sideways movement in between these two levels until a decision is made. Are we going to break back above that 50 and then come back into this trend line for a retest at some point, which may put us back into that downtrend at some point? I mean, we're thinking way far ahead, but you got to think these things, right? We could sit here for a week or so and kind of bang in between these levels. Or is the market going to actually get that crack below the 200 SMA? And are we really going to start coming back down and target some of these prior lows for a really nice swing trade? Again, that's what I think is going to happen at least until the end of the month. I don't think we fall below the 200-day moving average. I don't think we break back above the 50. I think we see a couple of days at least of movement between these two levels. Could be wrong, but that's what I think, and that's how I'm positioning myself for today for these day trades and those possible swing trades as well. So again, below 396.33 to keep it simple, guys, and the sum all of that up. Okay, play puts down to 393. All right, get out of your puts at 393. Start to think about flipping long and play calls off that key support level back up to 396.33. This is what you would expect to see today here on the SPY. You see how we came down to the 50 SMA and we bottomed? If we see that type of price action and that bottoming development here today at the red line, the 200 SMA, like we saw yesterday at the blue line, the 50 SMA, that's going to be the indication to get out of those put contracts, to get into calls for the pop on back up here on the SPY. So I do think we're going to drop on off here to start, which is fantastic. And here's why that's fantastic. I think that's great because that's going to pull Alphabet down along with it, right? So if the SPY drops to the 200-day moving average and we see QQQ dropping to its 200 SMA out of the gate, we get that nice little fade and fall, right? That's fantastic. Everything's going to follow suit, which means Alphabet's going to follow suit. Where to? Right? We're very, very close to this trend line here on Alphabet, GOOG. And this would be the third time that we come into this trend line, right? You see how we have this trend line at 83 low. It connects here 1, 2, 3 times, right? You could look at this as 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 coming into 0.5, or you can say this is just one low. So that's going to be a point. That's going to be a point. We're coming back into a third point. Or you can say that these are all individual points, right? Because it did tap that trend line here, here, and here. But regardless, right? What did we do? We came down 83, put in a low at 101, pulled back, established a trend line, made a high at 110, pulling back off of a higher high into this trend line, indicating we could have a nice higher low off this trend line support. Right? It's meeting the criteria to be a great area to be getting involved with. So that's what I'm really liking about how the market looks, right? The SPY and the Qs have room to fall into support, which is going to pull Alphabet down with it into that trend line. And if the SPY bounces off the 200 SMA, if the Qs bounce off their 200 SMA, right, and we see that nice move on up, what's Alphabet going to do? Most likely come down, hold the uptrend, and bounce up as well, making this a great day trade opportunity that could turn into a swing trade into next week. I really like Alphabet, and I'm definitely going to keep this one on high watch. On top of that, I really want to start buying more Alphabet for my long-term position, right? Here on GOOG. Like, this is a great area, in my opinion, to be buying more and dollar cost averaging in even more to this great stock. I mean, Alphabet, Google, it's a fantastic company. It's a great stock, strong balance sheet. Fundamentally, it's great. I would definitely look to start allocating and dollar cost averaging a little bit more into Alphabet at these levels, not only the day trade and the swing trade idea. So keep GOOG on high watch here, guys. I definitely think we have great potential to see this come down into the trend line and bounce, because that would mean the SPY and the Qs are bouncing at support, and we see a lot of this correlation and movement between these stocks, the SPY, the Qs, etc. You guys know that, all right? So Alphabet, GOOG on high watch, and it's very, very similar with Tesla. Tesla is very similar, right? What's Tesla doing? We got to readjust this trend line a little bit. Is that the trend line? Ooh, Tesla's actually cracking the trend line. We weren't cracking the trend line in pre-market, but we're actually starting to crack that very, very steep uptrend here on Tesla. Let's make sure that this is an accurate trend line and that it doesn't need readjusted here. Make sure that trend line's correct, guys. Here, let's just remove it. Let's do this. All right, we're on a 4-hour right now. Let's remove it. Let's come down here to these points. Let's connect them and extend it. So we got these lows here. We're going to connect those out. That's it. You can see that it hit here. 0.1, 0.2 comes down, validates 0.3, validates 0.4. This is a valid trend line. Extend it to the right, and let's see what we have here. That trend line also puts us right around that 20 EMA, which is going to be a good support level here on Tesla. So let's see as we get close, where are we? Are we actually cracking that level, right? We're not. Look at the trend line. We're actually still above it, which is fantastic. Okay. So, and it's very, very similar to what we just discussed with Alphabet, right? The SPY and the Qs dropping down at the start into support, which is going to pull Tesla down a little bit as well, right? We're going to see a lot of these stocks correlate with one another and have similar movements. So that's going to get Tesla into this trend line. So if we see the SPY and the Qs come down in support and bounce, Tesla come into this trend line and bounce. As long as Tesla holds that trend line, I absolutely want to be looking to take some calls today on Tesla as well. So that's my analysis here on Tesla. If we hold that uptrend and ideally stay above that 20 EMA as well, we do have great potential to see Tesla get some action to the upside. All right. So keep that trend line on watch. Okay. That 4-hour daily trend line, we're hitting it right now at this point in time. And that puts us, that trend line could put us right around, I would say, like 194.70, like right around 194.70 is going to be that trend line, as we can see. So when you throw this into, like, say, a 2-minute time frame, you don't get thrown off because the trend line doesn't show correctly. All right. So again, higher time frame, we got that 4-hour trend line. We're coming down into it. If we had to identify, hey, where does that level line up today? You're looking at like 194-ish, right? 194.74, 195. You hold that level as support, that's your higher time frame uptrend, and we could see a nice bounce today on Tesla back up the 200. And that's what I would expect, back up the 200 and then back into this downtrend resistance is where I would expect to see Tesla bounce on up to today. Short-term analysis on Tesla as a day trade. We'll reapproach this one come next week as we may have some bigger, better opportunity on Tesla for some puts, right? I think we get a bounce today, as I think the market's going to bounce a little bit, but I think coming into the next week, we eventually crack that uptrend on Tesla and we start dropping and we start pulling back as we're starting to appear to be putting in a bit of a head and shoulders formation here on Tesla, right? You can see that left shoulder, head, right shoulder. I think we get a bounce today with the overall market because I think the market's bouncing, which is going to cause Tesla to possibly bounce along with it. But I do think coming into the next week again, we eventually see Tesla stay below that 200 level, Tesla stay below that downtrend, and eventually get a crack of the uptrend, again, to be able to play some puts for a nice swing trade on down, guys. All right, so that's Tesla. And that's what I got for you guys. Really putting a lot of emphasis and a lot of weight here on the SPY, right? And you guys know why I'm putting a lot of emphasis and weight on the SPY today and how that weighs our Alphabet trade, potentially, how that's going to weigh into the Tesla trade here potentially. So again, definitely looking to see what the SPY does at the start of the day, right around the 50 SMA as our resistance level. And if we get that rejection and we start to drop, fantastic. Let's play puts on the SPY down to the 200 SMA. And then if we get out of those puts, look to play calls. Or let's go see where Alphabet's sitting. Is that a better trade? Let's go see where Tesla's at. Is that a better trade at that point in time? And we'll weigh out where the best opportunity is when we see the setup, all right? But we got a great action-packed day ahead of us, right? You got BAER for the 875 break. You should be crushing it right now at this point in time. There's no excuses as to why you didn't build a plan, get prepared, and getting involved in a great high probability trade. Look at that. You are already up 50 cents a share plus, right? You are squeezing, getting close to your $10 target. But here's the deal. You should be scaling out. Why? Josh, the target was $10. You're now telling me to scale out? Why? Because the market opens in 3 minutes. You should not, maybe you can, but it's risky to hold a trade from pre-market into the open because why? There's a lot of volatility, right? How many times have you seen a stock open and then just straight down and just wash out? You could see a washout long. So scale out, take profits, go risk-free, secure money on this trade on this Friday to end your week. You guys are up over 50 cents a share on a simple 875 break. Congratulations there if you guys took it. BAER on watch, ETAO, back burner sleeper play. You guys know my analysis. You guys know exactly what I'm thinking, why I'm thinking it, my reasonings, all backed with education, explanations. So you guys understand why I'm navigating the market the way I am, why I'm trading it the way I am, so you guys get in my heads and understand the logic behind this. SPY, you guys are all set. Alphabet, you're all set. Tesla, you are all set. All right, we'll watch NVIDIA too periodically throughout the day to see if we ever have a reason to get involved down at 230. I would like to try and catch NVIDIA for a 230 dip buy opportunity off that daily resistance, off yesterday's low. Again, same analysis. The SPY, I think we're going to drop at the start. What's NVIDIA going to do? Drop at the start. I think the SPY bounces at the 200 SMA. What's going to happen with NVIDIA? Probably bounce off its support level as the SPY is bouncing off the 200. The market moves together. I think NVIDIA could be a good dip buy at 230. And then Apple, no. Apple filled the gap, Catherine. Yeah, that swing trade that we were talking about here last week. You got your gap filled the last couple of days, so congrats on Apple. But I would say Apple, it's got to come off the watch list right now. It looked better in pre-market, but based on the location, based on where we are, I would say Apple, I'm 50-50 with it. So again, Tesla on watch, NVIDIA, and Alphabet. But a lot of my focus here at the start of the day, where's it going? The SPY. All right, let's get all set, ready to rock and roll. Let's have a fun day. Let's have a profitable day. And let's crush it, ladies and gentlemen. Why are your SMAs 50 and 200 straight lines? Because I marked them up with a price level tool. I marked them up with price level tools. They're not straight lines on the daily, but when I mark those levels up with price level tools and color code them, they're now straight lines on my intraday. Racks on racks on racks, racks on racks. All right, let's get it, team. Let's have some fun. Let's lock in some profits today, guys. Again, the best way to lock in profits is take high-quality trades. All right, I think Stir said something, and I think you all should do this right now at this point in time. I like what he said here in the market. Stir said, mental check-in. Let's do a mental check-in, team. Are you ready for some profits? Did you hit your morning routine? Are you feeling good? Are you dialed in? Are you focused? Mental check before you start the day. How you feeling? I feel fantastic. I'm dialed in. I'm ready to go because guess what? I have the power to choose. I have the power to make the best decisions, to take the best trades, to position myself correctly, to stop out quickly and take small losses, to make winning trades. I'm in control. I have the power to do so. I'm ready to fucking crush it today with the best team out there. Let's go. BAER with that $10 target. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get it. Let's go. 875 break, right to 10. You guys are eating right now. You better be locking in some profits. Good job. Let's get it. George said, fuck yeah, let's go. I know this is family-friendly show, but every now and then I get a little excited. So you're going to have to tell your kiddos to put their earmuffs on, all right? Josh is getting excited. Earmuffs, kids. Plug your ears. He's going to start cursing a little bit, but we like it, we love it, and we want some more of it. Look at that trend line here on the SPY. Look at that trend line. Again, I'm very short-term bearish, guys. I'm very bearish here on the SPY down to the 200 SMA. You guys know my reason. You guys know why I'm bearish down to the 200 SMA. So start looking at some put contracts here. Not in anything yet at this point in time. You guys can see I'm flat. But I'm looking to maybe get involved here out of the gate early on some puts at a resistance level because I do think we're going to flush on down to where? I'm thinking 393, ladies and gentlemen. So what's a 393 put look like for the small account? 393, they're cheap. They are cheapies. What's a 394 look like? 394, they're only $1 a pop. We'll go 394 puts. We'll go 394 puts here on the SPY, guys. That's what we're going to be doing. I'm not in anything yet, but I'm not opposed to, start scaling in and getting a nice little position here, guys. We just cracked that trend line. Let's see what this candle does here. I may start scaling in, as I do think we come down to the 200 SMA, but we may pop up to where first? Yesterday's low of day and the 50 SMA. So technically, we could see the SPY push up to 396.26 to 396.80 first before actually dropping on off. I want to make sure we're getting into the best trade. Our mindset is one and done. One and done trades. What's the one trade that we can get in on, position correctly to where when it works, we're printing 500 plus? Where's that one and done at? That's all we need is a one and done trade. Right now, SPY still trying to push on up here a little bit. Did kind of break that little downtrend here, right? You had that little downtrend. You popped above it. You tested it. Again, right now, no trades, no positions open. Just waiting to see what we do at the start of the day. All right, we may get a quick little pop on back up to yesterday's low and then the 50. Top out there. Right? And then roll on over. Honestly, I would prefer that. I would prefer the market to come up into those key levels of resistance, top out, and then roll on over. Because guess what? We can be getting involved at resistance, right? And where do stops go? Just right above resistance. So the stops would be really tight with potential to get a nice $3 drop. So let's see. I'm going to wait for the SPY to get closer to yesterday's low of day, right? Yesterday's low of day. And then as close to that blue line as possible as well, as I think that's a great area to start scaling in here to the SPY, right? Same strategy as Tuesday, right? It was the very same strategy as Tuesday, where Tuesday we got the gap down, right? We pushed into the prior day low, and then we flushed. What are we doing right now? We're gapping down and doing what? Pushing into the prior day low, and we're expecting a flush, right? That's exactly the same trade that we made 100% on Tuesday. Gap down, push up, tap the prior day low, and then drop into our support level right here. Same thing. Gap down, push up, get rejected off the prior day low, flush into support. 200-day moving average. I really want to get aggressive on this trade, guys. I really want to get a really nice, solid position going here on this trade. Not yet, though. I want to see us between that green line and that blue line. I think that's going to be right where we start getting involved here. Right where we start getting involved here is going to be that green line and that blue line. 50 SMA, green line is going to be yesterday's low of day. But it doesn't necessarily have to be the low of day. We just want to find multiple touches. Can we find multiple touches? There's multiple touches at 396.35. So 396.35 is the level. And I really want to be involved in this, but I don't want to get in too early, right? I want to be involved. I don't want to get in too early here. So I think we got a couple more minutes before the SPY gets into this zone, into this level, to where we can start scaling into some put contracts. I'm probably going to go 2 at a time up to 20. Like, I want to have a nice position here on the SPY. Where's Alphabet? Or not Alphabet. Q's. Again, a little bit of a grind on up. That's fine. GOOG. Hitting that daily trend line. Tesla. Nothing yet with Tesla. NVIDIA. I don't really see too much with NVIDIA yet. Really just comes down to the SPY here. BAER. You guys crushing it. You guys better be posting up some profits on that. If you're not posting up profits, I hope you guys learned something today. Did anybody learn something today? Give me like a thumbs up. Give me a hell yeah. Did you guys learn something today here on this penny stock BAER, an 875 break, what it entails, why it's powerful, and now you've added something to your tool belt? If so, I've done my job correctly and I'm leaving. I've done my job correctly and I'm dipping out now. See you guys. Have a good one. Take care. God bless. Love you all. Peace out. So right now, just sitting back on those hands, guys. Very disciplined, very patient, very calm. Where's the best trade? Right? It'll be coming on up. You got to be patient and wait for the trade to come to you. If you can't be patient, wait for the trade to come to you, you'd be trading. Just, it is what it is. You feel the urge to jump into something. You got the urge, right? Right? Remove the urge. Walk away. You don't need to have the urge, right, to be trading anything. Sit back, be patient, relax. Right? You will have that best trade present itself. You'll know when the best time to get involved is. You'll crush it. Right now, SPY's coming into that first level that I want to be looking to get involved. So very, very close to pulling the trigger on the first couple of contracts here on the SPY. Getting very close. First entry for me, 396.35. 396.35. First area that I start getting involved here with the SPY. Decreased volume along this push on up. Looks great. Right, 396.35-ish is the first area that I start getting involved here with the SPY. I'm looking at the today's expirations, 394s. Today's expiration, 394. Here we go. Getting close. Getting ready to take our first two contracts. Again, it's going to cost us $150 to start this position. So nothing crazy here. We're trading the 394 put contracts for today's expiration. And I think the best first place to get involved is going to be right here at this 396.35 mark. We're going to start with two contracts. Here we go. We are right there. We're going to go ahead and start with our first two contracts, guys. And again, why are we starting and not going full position? Because we have potential to squeeze to that blue line, 396.85. So just because we have potential to get to that level, I want to scale in just in case we get to that level. But what if it hits that 396.35 and dumps? Well, we already have some skin in the game, and we can continue to add to our position. Right? There's nothing wrong with scaling in. Commissions and fees are the same. Doesn't matter. So we're scaling in right now because that's the best thing to do. First entry was made, two contracts. Like I said, I want to scale into like 10 to 20. Like throughout the entire course of this morning, as the analysis still suggests, we drop down to the 200 SMA. I want to be scaling in. I got something in my ear. It's weird. So I keep picking up my ear. Something's in my ear. Throwing me off. Again, this is a small account trade, guys. This is a small account trade. Look at this in terms of percentages, right? We're trading the small account. So you guys got to be looking at this in the terms of percentages, right? You may not be making thousands of dollars, but guess what? If you got 20, 30% on a trade and you put $1,000 at it, you made $200-300. So it's all about the percentages. Like, what's the percentage return right now, right? If you got 72-cent entries, and right now the contracts are worth 84 cents. So what is that from a percentage standpoint? That's pretty freaking, that's 20%. So if you guys would have taken $1,000 and threw $1,000 at that trade, right, which is not a lot, and you are scalping, you would have just made what, right? 20% of $1,000, maybe $200 on that pull off a key level of resistance. I mean, trading doesn't have to be hard. Trading can be really, really simple. Look, we absolutely fucking crushed our entry. Like, look at that, guys. Trading can be really simple. Trading can be really easy if you're patient. You could have gotten in right at the start of the day and got chopped out. You can got it here at the VWAP, got chopped out, or you can wait for the trade to come to you, right? The trade came to us. We didn't go to it. It came to us. And now those contracts just went from 72 cents to 92 cents. That's 20 cents a contract. 20 cents a contract. That's insane, guys. Oh, we already got 225 from Greed is Good inside of chat. Congrats coming on in here early. Congratulations. And listen, we only got two contracts, guys. I want a lot more, right? If I would have taken 20 contracts there, we'd be up $350. What? We could already had our one and done just going all in, but that was the point of not going all in. Why? Because we can hit the blue line, right? Like, why would we go all in here just to take way too much risk to where we're like, you got to scale in a little bit. So we scaled in, right? And we're still going to scale in. That's the beautiful thing. I'm going to wait for a bounce on up. I think we bounce here off the trend line. I really do. And then on the next lower high, I add to this position on the next lower high. I add to my position. Contracts are up to $1 now, guys. Insane. 30 cents a contract. You bought 10 contracts. What'd you make? Woo-wee. Lots of money there. $300? $300 make you holla. Yes, I said it. $300 make a holla. Holla, holla. Bow, 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 bow. BAER's got support at 10. Halted to the downside, but BAER support right now at 10. Small account, you're up $65 on 2 contracts. My goodness. In hindsight, it's like, man, wish we would have gotten all 20. Be up $700 on the small account. Like, seriously, though, if we would have just got all in like we did on Tuesday, we'd be up $670 right now. Like, in hindsight, it's like, damn it, should have went all in. But if we would have went all in the moment and it pushed up to the blue line, you would have been kicking yourself in the butt. Yes or no? Who agrees with that? In hindsight, you wish you would have went all in because you'd be up $600 on your small account. But if we would have went all in and it squeezed up and hit that blue line, would you be kicking yourself in the butt? Would you feel like you're taking way too much heat, way too much risk at that point in time? Yes. So what's the point of what I just said? Does anybody understand what the point here is? Why did I just say that? What's the key takeaway? How did you process that? It's very important you understand why what I just said is very, very important and how you process it. What is that reason? Come on, guys. I want to see it. Let's help these newer traders. Let's help these newer members and really get those minds correct. There's one key thing I'm looking for. One key thing I'm looking for from you guys. I think manage risk is good. Not what I'm looking for, but manage risk. Capital preservation. I mean, these are good answers, but not the answer that I'm looking for. I think someone knows. I want one of you guys to answer because I want the newer members to hear it from you guys. You guys understand it just like I understand it. I want newer traders and newer members to hear it come from you. Why? So go ahead and answer. Anybody else crushing? Hunter got 66 on the SPY. Congratulations. We're up, my God, 50% on the contracts now. Like I told you guys, let the trade come to you. 50%, ladies and gentlemen. 50%. Actually, I'm sorry, 100% here on SPY puts on the small account. You're up $133. $133 on a $140 investment. You just doubled your investment on one of the best trades you can take. One of the most disciplined trades. One of the cleanest setups. Same trade as Tuesday that paid us 80%. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. You're learning something and you're earning at the same time. That's how we do it here at Alpha University. Ooh, I like it. Alpha University. Woo, sounds good. You guys get to learn and you guys get to earn. Just like that, you made your monthly membership back. What are your excuses now? I'm joking. I love you guys. But again, someone hit that on the head. Yeah, I forgot now, Stir. I forgot now. Journey to 6, 100% on the SPY. You're welcome. I got you. We're still eating. I'm not selling this until we get down to 393. That's just it. I'm not going to. It's coming down to the 200-day moving average before it bounces. That's just what's going to happen. You're like, damn, you're confident. Yeah, I'm pretty darn confident. Hopefully that confidence doesn't kick me in the butt, but I'm very, very 80, 90% confident. Coming down to the red line. We're going to make another probably 100% on these, right? In hindsight, you'd be up $1,439 if you would have just went full size on the trade. But the point here is not to make tens of thousands of dollars. I mean, that'd be nice. That'd be nice to make tens of thousands of dollars. But what's the freaking point here, ladies and gentlemen? To see that you can do this consistently with 1 or 2 contracts. To prove to yourself that you can do this with $700, with $140, with $1,000. So when you start trading with tens of thousands and you start going from 2 contracts to 20 to maybe 100, I don't know what you're doing. It's the same thing. It's the same trades. It's the same risk levels. It's the same mindset. The only thing that changes is how much capital you need and how many contracts you're trading. Like, put this into perspective. Okay, 20 contracts on this trade would be $1,440. Wow, that's insane for 17 minutes of work to make $1,400. Let's take this another step further. You get to the point where you're trading 40 contracts. Not a lot. People do it. What is that? That's $3,000 in the first 17 minutes of your day. It's not, man, I only made $125. The point here is, wow, I have potential at some point in my trading career to get to that point of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 contracts on the same types of trades with the same risk levels, with the same potential to make 100% return on my money. You put 10 grand into this trade, guess what? You just made $10,000. Not saying you should have put 10 grand into it, but it's the point, principle. It's the takeaway. All right? Congrats. So Glenn, look at that. Just made $1,500 on SPY puts. Looks like Glenn over on YouTube is going to be joining Alpha Day Trading today. No, but it looks like he got a nice little 100%, maybe scaled up a little bit more on those full 20 contracts that we wanted, but never really got a reason to take more, right? And honestly, I just want to teach this. I want this to be an educational process. That's it, right? Want this to be all educational. Could you be guys scaling out? Fuck yes. Scale out, take some profits, guys. I told you I'm not going to because I want this to be an educational process. Like, I'm not planning on selling this until we get to that red line. So where's my stop right now? Risk-free. I'm not going to lose on the trade. So right now, I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to lose. I'm risk-free. And I'm going to just remain patient and see if we get to the red line. Am I willing to give back the unrealized $100 to see if we get to that red line and make another 100? Yes, I am. Because I'm very confident that we come down to that red line, the 200-day moving average. So the point of what I was saying is, in hindsight, you kind of wish you would have taken the full 20 contracts, right? In hindsight. In hindsight, it's like, oh, that would have been a great decision to take the 20 contracts. In the moment, the best decision was to take 2 contracts, for example, because we have potential to come up to that blue line and scaling even more, right? But when traders see this, when traders go, oh my goodness, I should have went full 20 contracts. Guess what that does? Creates a bad habit. Why does that create a bad habit? Because the next trade that they see, just like this tomorrow, I should go with 2 contracts and add at the blue line, but I remember that trade from Friday where if I would have went 20 contracts, I would have made $1,500. Fuck my rules. I'm going to go 20 contracts. And then guess what? That one trade, that one day, comes up to the blue line. You're taking way too much heat. And you're like, motherfucker, oh my gosh, I should have went with it. There's no consistency. That's it. There's just no consistency. You cannot look at this and say, I wish I would have done something different. In the moment, did you make the best decision and the best trade possible? Yes, that's all that matters. In hindsight, could you have gone 20 contracts in full position? Yes. But let's be honest, ask yourself this question. If you would have went 20 contracts here and it went up to the blue line, would you have taken way too much heat on that trade? Would your risk would have been way too much? Yes. Would you be kicking yourself in the butt? Yes. So why adjust what you're going to do on the next trade? But yet, traders see this. They start saying, I wish I would have done something different. And they're creating and establishing very bad habits. Very bad habits. It's all about consistency in this game. It's about creating, establishing, and holding yourself to those rules and those good habits. That's the key takeaway. That's what I wanted you guys to be able to take away from that. Not risk management, but good answer. Not capital preservation, but good answer. But the mindset aspect is what I wanted you guys to be taking away here. Make sense? Great. Exactly. You start being inconsistent with your decision-making process, and what the best decision is, you don't see consistency in your profit and loss, guys. You just don't. It's not going to happen. Good rules, good habits with discipline and consistency, regardless of what happens. That's it, regardless of what happens. This could have came up to the blue line and we added. Then it could have broke the blue line and we could have got stopped out. But guess what? That's not what happened. It hit yesterday's low of day and it dumped. Great. At least we had some skin in the game. And wasn't that the goal? To at least have skin in the game, but not take too much heat because we could hit the blue line? We had a plan. It made sense. It was a very logical, very defined, clear plan. And we executed our plan like professional traders. You just do that every single day. What's holding you back? Nothing. You have the control. You have the power to make the best possible decisions. Make them. No one else has these types of conversations. No one else gets into the mental state. No one does this out there, gets to this side of trading. And this is how you're going to learn and how you're going to be successful. So you can go watch the guy trade $1 million. All right. And just let him brag about his profits. You can actually learn what it takes to get to that point. I have the power. Power. I've got the power. Power. Love your strategy. Seeing you trade live makes it legit. I do this every single day inside of the Alpha Day Trading community with my team, with the members, with the OGs, the MVPs, the real deals. Yeah, so if you want to get this every day and you want to take your trading to the next level, and this is something that's going to help you, what's stopping you from making the decision to join the community? We would love to work with you, and hopefully we see you inside of chat. Do we got some profits today? Again, I'm not selling till we get to the blue line, but I'm risk-free. Profits, Tracy Timber. There we go. Hunter just hit his daily goal. Good stuff. Look at that. Securing the 100% winner on the SPY. 394 puts. Literally, Garrett locked in those 100%, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Whoop, whoop. What do we got here? Oh, my goodness. You got Skylar with some Tesla. What do we got here? Tesla. Stir locking in $200. Goals done. Walk away, boss man. Walk away. You made your 200. Get out of here. Or the 10% rule. Remember the 10% rule? 10% rule if you want to take another great high probability fantastic trade, but you're not going to risk more than $21. All right, to make sure you still walk away with your goal. Congratulations, everybody. Congratulations, everybody. Yep, thank you, Stir. Appreciate it, appreciate it. I'm not going out on a green day, turn red, so I'm going to make my bag for the weekend. Good, good. Where's the ad? Where's the ad on this position? Because we could still add to this. Probably 395 would be an ad if we get it. But here's the deal. Like I said, I want to see it come down to the red line, 200-day moving average. That's where I want to sell this position and then look to get involved in what? 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 Want to get involved in some calls for the push back up. Do you ever use trailing stops? Nope, I do not. Why do I not use trailing stops? Because again, you should never trail a stop loss based on a percentage or dollar amount. You should trail your stops based on the chart. Right? If you got a 50-cent trailing stop, you may get prematurely stopped out. You got a 10% trailing stop based on the chart, you may prematurely get stopped out. You should always trail your stops based on the charts. Under swing lows, over swing highs, based on the TA, based on the technicals. Get out of here, Skylar. Dip. Leave. Glenn, absolutely. Tesla looks like it wants to drop. So we may look for a different trade on the spot. Actually, no, we got to let the small account do its thing. I may be looking for a trade on my main account, guys, and just flip on over to my main account here and actually lock in some profits. I mean, 90 bucks ain't bad for the small account, and we still have so much room to the downside, but I want to hit my goal here. I would love to lock in some big boy profits. Nice. You got the 392s for 101. Sold at 165. Congratulations on that trade. It was a great trade. Great trade. We're still sitting about 100% on the trade right now. Pretty close to it. About 80%. But we're starting to roll, and this might be a really nice ad here on the SPY. We're going to go main account on this one. We're going to go SPY, SPY. I feel like I'm too late, though. The best trade would have been as it was hitting the that 9 EMA. I just kind of feel like... I'm already maybe, 40 cents behind, and 40 cents is 40 cents, guys. You don't think it's a lot, but when you're trading a 30, 40 delta with 10 to 20 contracts, 40 cents could be hundreds of dollars. So no ad, still just maintaining and still managing the small account trade. If we get a new low of day, so this is the whole trailing stop thing. If you had a 50-cent trailing stop, guess what? Your trailing stop is now 50 cents above the current price. That's too tight. Right? If it was 10%, it's too tight. But where should we put our stop if we make a new low of day? Over the prior swing high. So not based on a dollar amount, not based on a percentage. If we get this lower low here, stop should go over the prior swing high. That's how we should trail our stop down from break even to over this prior swing high. If and only if we get this lower low on down here, guys. Can I share? Yeah, okay. We might chop here a little bit. A little of this chop before we get that low. Oh, no, we're just going to go for it. Oh, no. What's it going to do? I think it's going to chop a little bit, maybe. A little of this choppy, crazy, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. But I do eventually think we still get that low of day into the 200 SMA. Because that's support, guys. That's support. Down around 393 support. We got 10 o'clock data. We got 10 o'clock data. What was it? Michigan consumer expectations. Was that it? Yeah, Michigan consumer sentiment. Yeah, it was Michigan consumer sentiment data. Sentiment. Yeah. So we had new home sales here at 10. We had new home sales month over month. We had Michigan consumer sentiment right there at 10 o'clock. So you got a little bit of a jumpy jump there. New low of day. Come on, baby. Get to the red line so I can take calls. Get to the red line. I want my call contracts. I've got the power. Power. All right, let's make sure we're not missing anything. I think you get the new low of day in the next 10 minutes. ETAO, anything there? No. BAER. BAER is a little funky because it's been halted several times to the downside, but I would watch BAER maybe off this trend line. Maybe off that trend line, I would say you would get a possible bounce coming on up. So keep that on watch. I think SPY's going to get a new low of day, like I said, in the next couple of minutes. NVIDIA's sitting right at 230. We don't have nothing there yet. There's nothing fresh. I don't see any fresh trades. Like, I'm not seeing anything fresh. Fresh entries, fresh trades right now. We're still just running this from, we absolutely nailed the high. I mean, we pulled the trigger right there at high a day. So we're just still managing this trade from our high a day entry here on the SPY. And just waiting for it to get to the red line very patiently. Steve, I want you to create a rule with your halt strategies. I think that's going to really help you. I want you to create a rule with your halt strategies. And the rule that I want you to create with the halt strategy is going to be a minimum gap up out of the halt. So based on the price of the stock, it's got to gap up a certain amount. Like on an $11 stock, I would say it needs to open 50 cents higher. So you want to see the open 50 cents higher. And then boom, those are going to be valid halt strategies. So what if it opens 20 cents higher? You can have your finger on the cancel button, ready to cancel the order. That may keep you out of some of these halt strategies that don't open up high enough, right? Or the ones that open up way too high. So I usually have a predefined, dollar amount. Like if it's a $4 stock, I would say maybe like 25 cents the gap up. $1 stock, I'd say maybe 10 to 15 cents the gap up, right? So that's kind of how maybe that little rule could help with only getting involved with the best of the best of the best halt strategies. Buy starting to squeeze a little bit. Buy is starting to squeeze a little bit, which is fine. Like I told you guys, my plan was nail the high a day and get down to the red line. I'm risk-free. I'm okay with letting that go back to zero because it's an educational experience for you guys. I mean, you guys learned a lot. Like my goal here is not to like make a crap ton of money. My goal is to teach you guys how to trade. And did I say scale out, take profits? I said, yeah, you could definitely scale out, take profits. Am I going to? No, because I want to utilize this as a opportunity to teach you guys how to scale out, how to manage risk, where to put stops, right? And I want to hold this trade as long as possible to continue to educate as much as I can. But again, traders in chat, they're making good decisions, right? Not saying I'm making a bad decision, but I'm saying, hey, they're locking in profits. Glenn got 100%. Hunter scaled out. Some of you guys over on YouTube scaled out as well, and that's good stuff. But I want to hold this just so I can continue to utilize every new fresh thing that happens as an opportunity to teach. So right now, worst case scenario, what? There's $0 made on the day. Best case, a couple of hundred on two contracts. Right now, I'm okay with letting this get back, break even. I want to continue to use these as examples. But here we go. Like we got this little, you see that big drop down. You see the high before that massive drop. We can run a downtrend on that. That's a valid downtrend, right? Because you had that high before a massive move, comes back up, high before that big drop. That's a valid trend line here on the SPY. That is going to be a valid trend line, and I would add there. Remember, I was wanting to wait for a lower high to add. That's where I would add on the SPY if we get there. On this position, that's where I would add and still run risk-free on the stop. ETAO, nothing here. BAER, a little risky, I like this bounce on NVIDIA, but if the SPY hits the downtrend and rejects, what's NVIDIA going to do? NVIDIA's going to like fall with the SPY. So that's the only reason why I don't want to get this double bottom off support with NVIDIA, because again, I'm still bearish on the SPY as long as it's below that downtrend. So doesn't help support the NVIDIA trade. Tesla, look at the wedge on Tesla, guys. Look at that wedge on Tesla. Woo, wait for the crack out of the wedge. Remember yesterday's wedge on Tesla? You guys would have eaten big time on that trade. Remember that wedge on Tesla? Right? And it just freaking flushed and dumped. I mean, that was a beautiful wedge. Look at Tesla right now. Beautiful wedge. Let's see what direction it wants to go, but I really like that wedge on Tesla. And if it cracks to the downside, I'll jump into puts. If it breaks to the upside, we jump into calls. But right now, guys, Tesla, potential wedge, crack to the downside. This is a larger account trade for me. I'm going to take this on my Fidelity account here. Tesla, got to get an order typed up, depending on which way it wants to go, but play some daily expirations here. Fidelity, you can't. I don't like Fidelity for that reason. I'll take this on the small account then, because I want to play dailies. Tesla today puts. Where's the 20 EMA? 190. We'll play some 190 puts. 190 puts. Yeah, we'll play 190 puts. And you want to wait for the crack of the wedge. Want to actually wait for the crack of the wedge. You got left on this candle for a closure. You got about 13 seconds left, and you are close. It looks like it wants to close below. It hasn't closed below yet, but you got the SPY pulling, which is great. The SPY pulling on down is going to help Tesla. Look at the crack of the wedge. Yeah, this is an entry here. That's an entry on Tesla for the crack of that wedge. It may bounce back up for a retest, but there's a confirmed entry on the wedge crack on Tesla, guys. It's a confirmed entry on Tesla. We cracked the wedge to the downside. Could it be a false crack? Yeah, sure, could be a false crack. That's the risk that you gotta be willing to take. Could be a false crack. Absolutely. 100%. But you got the confirmation as we closed below that trend line, right? You got confirmation because you closed below the trend line and you cracked the wedge to the downside. Now the probabilities are 80-20, right? 80-20 probabilities that you flush. And then on top of that, looking at the SPY's pulling back and getting a little bit of that rejection. So might be a false move on Tesla. That's unfortunate. Looking like it's a false crack to where you just close the puts and jump into the calls. Because when you get a false crack of a wedge and it squeezes back into the wedge, you literally just cut your short and jump into the calls because it usually flips the other direction. If it is a validated false crack, you could simply just flip to the other side of the trade. In this case, would be calls and make that small loss back and put yourself in a nice winning position. So right now, depending on what Tesla does on this candle, it's got about 30 seconds left to close on out. It could be a false crack where we want to exit the puts, right? And then look for those calls. And you just have to take the opposite side of the trade, and there's nothing wrong with that. You just got to trade what's in front of you. Right now, yeah, I don't like how we're trying to get back in the wedge. But, I mean, technically, we're still below it. We haven't closed above that trend line that we cracked, right? So right now, you got a few seconds left for this candle to close weak. This candle closes weak. I want to add to this. There's the retest candle. So there's the retest candle of that wedge, right? So we cracked the wedge. We're retesting it now. That's the retest. So still appear to be on the right side of the trade right now. Still appear to be on the right side of the trade right now. Down $30 on Tesla. Let's get that flush. We got a flush. I would say over that last candle high is a stop out. So you see that red line here? I would say that's a good place to be getting out of this trade. Because we should flush now that we cracked the wedge. If we come back up over that prior candle high, I think we squeeze on up, and that's a great place to be exiting the puts. So you got to keep your stops nice and tight. Nice and tight here. Tight. Sound like Conor McGregor. Nice and tight. It should crack and dump here, and it's taken a long time, isn't it? Taken a really long time to get that crack and dump off that wedge. And the longer it takes, the more I don't like it. I get my entries to the penny, and we expect maybe a 2 to 3 minute time horizon for the move to start and the move to play on out. And right now, it's taken a while. But I think we have an ad coming on up as the SPY is flushing. I think we may add here on Tesla. I think that's an ad. Yeah, I'm liking what we see here. I'm going to add with tight stops. I may add here with a really tight stop on the ad. Really tight stop on this ad if I take it. We got 20 seconds left on this candle. Still got 20 seconds left on this candle, and I haven't added yet because it's not confirming the ad, and it may confirm the exit. See, it's taken a while. About 9 seconds left. This may be a stop out here, which it's fine. You got to take the risk when you trade. You're not going to have every single trade being a winner, but we waited for the confirmation. We waited for the wedge to crack to the downside, and that was the best way to take that trade. Not getting in early, waiting for the confirmation. And it's still... it's that retest, you know? It's definitely retesting, but I don't know if I want to add just yet. Stops have to be over that candle high, that retest high on that candle. That's where the stop has to be. SPY still looks like it's rolling. If we get below 194 on Tesla, I'm going to add, and my stop's over 194. Yeah, I think I'm going to add because the SPY's pulling here. I think I'm going to add on the retest for sure. I'm going to add. We're going to go 10 contracts here. Stops are tight on the other 5 we added. Stops are very tight. If I have to close the 5 that I just added, I'll close the 5 that I just added. If I want to get back in at some point, I'll get back in at some point. But I'm going to add here with a stop above 194 if we don't just crack on down on Tesla. There's 194. Getting ready to close. Okay, nope, we're still good, still good. We got to get low a day here. Got to get low a day here on Tesla for this to be a quality trade. Got to get that pull on this candle. This candle has to go low of day. This candle has to flush and dump. Has to flush and dump. We've got to go low of day here, guys. Back over 194, you should consider getting out of this trade. Back over 194, you should consider getting out of this trade. Or at least taking half of your position off the table. The 5 you added, at least consider taking those 5 off. See, look, it's not flushing, and that's not what you want to see. That really starts to deplete and decrease the probabilities that this wedge is going to follow through to the downside. You got to be smart and manage your trade and take everything into consideration. Price action, volume, everything. The duration, like this should have already dumped on down here. And it's taking a very long time, which is decreasing the probabilities that this trade actually plays in our favor. That's just how it works. That's how it goes. We got to get a low of day here for this to be a quality trade. Stops are over 194 on Tesla. Stops are over 194 on Tesla, guys. You got to get a low of day on this candle. If not, I'm getting out because it's probably going to bounce and chop. And it's just not getting. I'm probably going to cut 5 of these contracts, guys, because we're just not getting that crack through low of day. And it should have played out 5 minutes ago. And that's just how the cookie crumbles. I don't like it. I don't like it here. Taking way too long, guys. Way too long. I give it maybe like 5 more seconds for this candle to flip red. But yeah, we flipped red. Okay, 5 more seconds, flip red. We've got to continue to hold red on this candle and go low of day. SPY still dropping a little bit. Taking a very long time here on Tesla, though. Stop's got to be nice and tight over that 194. Got to go low of day. Got to go low of day. Got to go low of day here. If we don't go low of day, not working. Stops coming down. Stops over this candle high. You see that candle high? Stops now over this candle high. Stops over that candle high. That's the stop now on the trade. See, it's struggling. It's bouncing. I don't like the trade, guys. I'm out. I don't like the trade. It's not happening. It's not working. It's not happening. I'm not going to let it squeeze out. I'm just not going to let it happen. It's not getting the drop. Stick to your rules. Have a plan. You take a loss. You take a loss. Wedges don't take that long to play out. Okay? I'm going to show you. Wedges don't take that long to play out. Here's a wedge from yesterday. Right? And I don't care what Tesla does right now. If Tesla dumps, so be it. Let it dump. Wedges do not take that long to play out. Right? Look at the wedge. Crack. Get a quick retest, but you flush. You see how quick that was? Boom. It moved. It opened. It ran. It moved. It took place very quick. You see how choppy this wedge is? Right? You see how choppy this wedge is on Tesla and how long it's taking? That's not a wedge break. That's not a crack of the wedge. That's taken way too long. Look at how choppy that is. It's not, crack, retest, flush. It's sitting there just holding. The probabilities went from 80-20 to 60-40. And I tell you what, guys, I'm not going to let that go to a $200, $300, $400 loss on daily expiration contracts. It's just not how you trade. Took a loss here. It's fine. Right? We still have SPY working its way on down for us. If Tesla goes, it goes. But you got to make good decisions, and that was the best decision at that point in time. You guys are still in that Tesla trade? Right? Hopefully it cracks and dumps for you. Glenn, do you ever take into account the implied volatility on the SPY when it dumps or squeezes, when to get out? No, I do not. I focus on delta and targets. I do not really look at the implied volatility all that much for my day trades. Not even really the theta, unless it's going to be a long hold. Unless it's going to be a very, very long hold on something that's out of the money. Making sure we're not missing anything. All right, we took a good trade. That was a good trade on Tesla. For those that say that was a bet, that was a good trade on Tesla. Great entry, great ad, great risk management, great analysis. I mean, overall, 80-20 setup, you take those. That could have been a freaking runner, if you know, and it still could be. But you know, Tesla on those daily expirations, woo! You got Tesla at $1, $2 drop on 10 contracts. You are printing. But hey, nice tight stops. You're losing $100 to make 500 plus on Tesla. I take those odds every day. Right? But again, the wedge just didn't crack. Look at that beautiful wedge at low of day. Just didn't get that crack, didn't get that follow through, and that's very unfortunate. Javier says he's done for the day. What do we got over here? $1,800. Get it? My man over here absolutely eating right now. Javier, brother man, way to get it. Woo, my man. I'm excited for you. I'm proud of you, sir. I'm proud of you. It's taken so long. May just close this, guys, because it is taking long time on SPY. Long time. And, you know, it's like 10:20, and I feel like there's just some other trades out there that could be missing because this SPY trade just not getting the 200-day tap. And the longer we hold this closer to that afternoon time, on a daily expiration, the theta just really starts to decay a bit, right? The theta starts to decay. At one point, we were up $160. We just hit low day and we're up 130. The theta is decaying these contracts. So the longer we hold this, the more the theta eats away to where it may just make sense to go ahead and start closing now a little early just because the theta on the daily expirations. And we're still up 123. Never got our ad, though. So this was never a full-size position, which is unfortunate, right? It is unfortunate, but we stuck to our plan. Never got full size. We got full size on Tesla, and so we took a full-size loss on Tesla. We would have went full size here on the SPY. You can see that you would be greatly in the green at this point in time. But this is the outcome of the day, right? Never got full size on the SPY, so our profits are smaller than expected. Went full size on Tesla, and that happened to be a stop out, but we got a full size stop out on Tesla. So as far as like the balance is very narrow today because of the opportunity with the SPY getting full size, and then what happened here with Tesla. But overall, trade for trade. Right? Great trades, great management, great entries. Overall, you can't complain about these trades here today. They're fantastic. Hunter, almost up close to another 25% on the day. Good job, boss. Javier, dude, I really do appreciate it, man. I really do appreciate it. It takes like 5 minutes. Goes a long way because I'm actually putting that page together tonight, brother, man. So I would really appreciate, and that goes for everybody inside of chat. Like step out of your comfort zone if you feel uncomfortable. And please consider leaving us a video testimonial. It really goes a long way. Yeah, I'm going to send you guys this link. You click the link, and then literally you just record, and you just talk about, you know, your results, how you like it. It just takes not a lot of time. It doesn't have to be professional. You could be walking when you do it. And it would really mean a lot. And I know there's a lot of you guys that love this community that have really benefited from being a part of this community. But yet we don't have a lot of these one-on-ones. So I think it just comes down to your guys' comfortability. You may be a little shy, a little scared. Listen, break through that barrier. Break through that mental barrier and just do it. You'll feel a lot better once it's done. And send it. It would be greatly appreciated. We're probably going to close the SPY here in a moment. just because, like we said, the theta decay is definitely making an impact on these. At one point, we were up 160. At low of day, we're back at low of day, we're up 140. So that's the theta decay, right? From a per share standpoint, from a price to price standpoint, we're back down the low of day. If we were trading shares, the P&L would be accurate, but the theta is decaying these contracts. So if we don't crack low of day and come straight down to that red line, we've got to just go ahead and close this out before we let the theta decay these contracts back down to break even if the trade's still technically green in our favor. So, and that's going to put us net positive on the day, right? And we still have a lot of capital left over. A lot of capital left over if we identify another trade, but that still gets us slightly green on the day. And then from a percentage standpoint, we'll break this down based on the capital that was used and the profit that was made. From a percentage standpoint, what were the results? Or is today going to be a break-even day? Is today going to be break-even? It very well could be, but 50% win rate, breaking even in the one trade, you know, just not getting that full position, which is a little unfortunate. And these, you know, these things happen in the market. Sometimes you don't get your full position, right? And your profits are limited. Still a great trade, still winning, but profits are limited. You get another trade that you get going, right? And you get full position on it. Let's say that's a stop like Tesla was. You just don't see that the profits greatly outweigh the loss for that day. That's when you can see more, maybe like a break-even day like today, due to the circumstances, due to the trade, due to everything that took place. The goal is to stay as consistent as possible and always have that substantial balance of profits outweighing the losses, of course. But you're going to have those days where things like this happen, where you got to just accept it and be like, it's okay. It's a part of the process, right? It's a part of the process. Today, profits didn't greatly outweigh the risk, the loss. But you know what? I'm still happy with the trades. They were quality trades. I did nothing wrong. It was a fantastic day. And you know what? Break even happens, right? We break even at times. It's okay. So right now, if we get back over the swing high, I have to close the SPY. I have to close the SPY. I think it's the right thing to do based on where we're at, time of day, based on the theta decay, based on our discussion. I think that's going to be the right thing to do on this trade, right? Is go ahead and get a stop over the swing high, because what's something else we notice? We're in this wedge, and wedges are bullish. So as long as we continue to consolidate inside of this wedge, that's a bullish breakout formation, and momentum and selling pressure is kind of fading to the downside. Wouldn't you agree that we don't have as much momentum, as much aggressive price action and movement to the downside? We see it slowing a little bit, and that's going to help the theta really eat these contracts up as well. So we're going to have to go ahead and make a good decision to make sure that we at least secure a break-even day today, right? And break-even is better than losing. Obviously, we want to make money, but hey, every now and then we have break-even days. And today may be one of those days, but I tell you what a great trading day, team. What a great, phenomenal trading day. And this trade's still technically not done, and this still could be a profitable day. From a percentage standpoint, still could be a phenomenal day, up 10%, 5%. We'll see, depending on how this trade plays on out, or it could be a purely break even, but we're not going to go red on the day. It's just not going to happen. So we're going to close this. If we get down to like 110 on the P&L, if we get down to 110 on the P&L, that's going to be the stop. We're going to break even after commissions and fees here. Okay. And that's just the, that's what we're going to do. That's how we're going to manage this trade. Okay. We're at 111, 110, 107, and we're out just like that. We got to take it. We got to take it. We got to get break even on the day. Okay, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles today, guys. And that's a great, disciplined, amazing trading day. So, hey, you were up 100%. You took your profits. You took your profits. I wanted to utilize all of this as an educational experience. And I feel like that was a great decision to continue to hold the SPY. We took Tesla, right? That was a loser. We managed the SPY based on where our account was for today, based on the imbalance of position sizing between the SPY and Tesla, right? Like there was a lot of discussion, a lot of great, I think, education here just by letting that SPY trade go, having the opportunity to trade Tesla, how Tesla trade went in comparison with the SPY and our position sizing, and how we were able to stay focused, dialed in, and make good decisions and not give into our emotions and not make those bad decisions. And guess what? The outcome today, obviously we want profits. We want to make money. Okay, but if this were truly your trading day, and this was the process of your trading day, small account, large account, you got to be excited. You got to be happy. You got to be like very, very positive, because that was a fantastic trading day. You did everything correctly. You had a fantastic mindset, didn't give into your emotions, manage your trades correctly. That was a phenomenal, well-rounded trading day. And if you just did this every single day, you are very, very good at trading, and you're going to do fantastic. So overall, yeah, it's break even on the small account. You guys crushed it with profits. That's the beautiful thing. You guys took the advice and locked in your profits. I mean, look, we got 100% on the SPY. We got Hunter locking in great profits on the SPY. You got some other traders in chat locking in killer profits. You got Glenn making great profits over on YouTube, right? Someone else locked in like 1,015. Yeah, you got Glenn locking in $1,500, taking his 100%, right? But allowing me to utilize this as a educational experience was fantastic, guys. So hopefully you guys took something away. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit. And that was my goal. And hopefully I was able to meet and exceed that goal, guys. I'm done talking a lot. I'm talking a lot. Glenn said, thank you for doing that. Learned a lot. Awesome, bro. I'm really happy that you learned a lot from that. Really happy. I'm glad that I did what I said I was going to do. All right, now that that's over, if we have any other great trades that present themselves, let's make it happen. Right? Let's make it happen. What do we think about Tesla off this downtrend? What do you guys think about Tesla off that downtrend rejection? Anybody like that Tesla downtrend rejection, or you think Tesla's going to break that downtrend? Some would say you're in a little bit of this falling channel. Yeah? A little bit of a falling channel. You can play the falling channel if you wanted to. What do you guys think on Tesla inside that falling channel? Right? You could literally put a stop here at like 194.50. I kind of like it. I'm not opposed to it. I think it's a good looking opportunity, personally. I think it's decent looking. Like, Matt's over here like, oh man, that is beautiful, isn't it? I'm trying to trade like Matt, and I don't like it. I already don't like being in this trade, because it's Matt's kind of trade, and I don't like it. It freaks me out. I don't like it, man. It's too slow. It's too channely. It's the year of the wedge, man. I tell you what. Ugh, brutal. Brutal trading like this. Matt, how do you do it, man? My heart's racing right now. I'm so uncomfortable right now. I'm so uncomfortable, dude. Oh, I'm freaking out. I'm joking. He says it's awesome. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. It's going to take an hour to play out. I'm going to make $10 in an hour. We go to McDonald's at 15. See, I don't like it, Matt. I don't like it. It's terrible trading strategy. No, I'm just messing with you, dude. He's like, shut the fuck up. I'm just messing with you, man. I'm messing with you. I like it. I think it's an amazing thing here. I think it's beautiful. I think it's profitable. I think it's killer. I think we make all the monies. On Tesla. I think Tesla going back to my poop list, guys. I really do. I really think Tesla is going back to my poopy list. What do you guys think? Like Netflix and Matt, poopy list. Me and Tesla, man. I tell you what, I like it, but I hate it at the same time. The love-hate relationship. I love Elon, right? I love Tesla, the company, but I hate day trading it. Absolutely hate it. I mean, that's a strong word, but I don't like it. It's so slow, and it's not honoring the technicals at all. My goodness. Yeah, that's an out. That's an out. Could have dropped and cracked, but it looks like it wants to squeeze on up here. You see, that'd be a good, like, large account opportunity, because, like, it moved 30 cents, 40 cents, and you would have hit PT on that. On the small account, it's like I got to get those bigger moves. I can't bang out those 30, 40 centers because it doesn't make a lot of sense on like 5 contracts. Now you start going 30, Yeah, I can see those quick little 40, 50 cent drops. Like, we nailed it. We were green. Could have been profitable. But again, it's like, I got to get those bigger moves on the small account. And that's why it's really hard for me to trade Tesla. It's still, look at that. It's still in that channel. This is the year of the wedge after all. You're 100% right. It is the year of the wedge. The year of the wedge. Look at how choppy Tesla is. Like, where's the follow through? Matt, where's the follow through on this? Like, what does everybody in chat say? Like, if you don't have strong hands on Tesla, don't even trade it. If you can't be patient with Tesla, don't even trade it. Tesla's one of those funky stocks that I just don't like. It's coming off my watch list. There's a reason I don't trade Tesla. All right, so you know, you still got the SPY wedging on down here, slow and steady inside of that falling wedge. There's nothing here at this point in time on the SPY. QQQQQ, it's sitting at its 200-day moving average. How long to the testimony? As long as you want, bro. Nothing wrong with that. As long as you want. You want to do it for a minute? Do it for a minute. You want to do it for 10? Do it for 10. No limit. You can literally be like, yo, I joined Alpha 45 days ago. It's awesome. I knew nothing about trading. I know a lot now. I'm making consistent profits. Josh is, he's a weirdo, but he teaches well. Like, you can say whatever you want to say, man. You can say whatever you want to say. All right. All right. So, I mean, right now at this point in time, guys, I'm not really seeing all that much, right? I'm not really seeing all that much right now. So, it's a tough one. Because, like, obviously we want to get involved. Obviously we want to lock in, you know, some profits. But we're just not seeing anything amazing setting up, you know, right now at this point in time. It's pretty limited as far as the opportunity. Do you guys see anything that stands out to you? Do you guys see anything right now that you're wanting to get involved with right now at this point in time, guys? Is there anything that you notice? Anything standing out to you? Anything that you think has great potential right now at this point in time for an opportunity and a trade coming on up? Please let me know. We can definitely review it. We'll dissect it, and we'll see if we do indeed have something. Right now, the SPY's trying to break that wedge, right? Trying to get that little break on out here. Let's see if it's sustainable. I still think the best support level is the 200 SMA, but right now you got the SPY trying to push out of that wedge here a little bit. Let's see if it can actually hold. Let's see if it can actually get that break and actually move on up with some consistency here. Right now it's 10:35 on a Friday, and we are noticing a little bit more chop. Right, a little bit more chop right now. So it's going to be challenging to really nail any kind of exceptional trade because there's just a little bit of chop at this point in time. SPY's trying to curl on up. QQQ. It's trying to curl on up a little bit. Other than that, guys, it is coming into a slower time of the day. You got some chop. And with that being said, it's going to be hard for you guys to trade the chop. So what should you do? Stop. If the market chop, you stop. I like that. The market chop, you stop. So now's a great time if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns. Chop a clock, baby. I love it. Chop, chop, chop a clock. Chopping it up. Chopping the clock. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Right now, we are just going to continue to observe, see if there is anything. And yeah, that's it, guys. That's it. SPY tried to get a break out of that little wedge. Wonder if SPY's going to come back down the low of day here. So watching the SPY, you guys see how much more it's going to chop here. SPY falling back in. That little falling wedge, a brief break, and now we're starting to get a little bit of a pull back inside of that wedge. But yeah, you're just really sitting sideways. I don't see too much here, team. You have those questions, let me know, or we're going to just start wrapping up our morning on this Friday. Simply because we're in that chop o'clock time, and we don't trade in chop o'clock. Right? We trade at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. We trade at, you know, sometimes during the week at 11 o'clock, but then comes chop o'clock. And we don't trade during chop o'clock. We go bust a Glock. We go smack a cock. I don't know. I'm just trying to be funny. It doesn't work half the time when I try and be funny. Apple clock. Busted Glock. Now, busted Glock doesn't even make sense. Oh, pop. I don't know. We're done. We're done. Chop o'clocks to go listen to Tupac. Chop o'clock. Knees a shake until you drop. I'm crushing it right now. My goodness. I could be a rapper when I grow up. DJ Alpha. Mumble, 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 mumble rap, mumble, 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 mumble. Gotta love that new era mumble rap. I'm waiting for questions, guys. You have no questions. What's wrong with you? I tried to help you. You no ask. You have to ask a question for me to help. You no ask, you no get the help. You ask, you get help. If I like you. Corey ask. And we don't even talk to Corey around here. Don't even talk to Corey. Corey asks a question. Who are you, man? We just give him the bird. We just give him the bird. All right. Sorry, I was a little distracted. We got break even on the small account. We're $33 on the day. We're $33 on the day. All right, so we're going to take the $33 hairs, not down 77. We're going to take the $33 hairs. I was doing some shady things off to the side. I was taking a trade and not telling you. Josh, why'd you take that trade and not tell me? I could have made money. That was my opportunity to get that account back to break even. Like, I'm a break even guy. So I'm going to go ahead and do it without you. So we're break even on the small account. I'm done because I don't really see the market conditions that I like. So what was the capital used today? Let's put this in perspective. 3K to make, so you made 1%. You broke even. It's a break-even day. You guys okay with break-even days? Does anybody get upset when they break even? Especially when the trading day was killer? Does anybody get upset? If you do, what's wrong with you? Now, you shouldn't be getting upset when you break even, especially if your day was killer like today. Today was a killer day. I'm going to keep saying it. Today was a killer day. Boom, boom. Small account, 33. Wow. It's just one of those days. I don't really like Fridays anyway. All right, questions. Let's see if we got anything. Chop a clock, break the wedge, extend the wedge, break the wedge, extend, right? When will the testimonial videos be live? I'd love to hear what people have to say this weekend. Should be. Which way is the market going to move? Corey, whenever you leave, it's going to dump. We all know that. Whenever you leave, it's going to dump. So, let it dump. When did you grow up, bro? You old as fuck. Who's old? Who's old? Me? When I grow up? Bro, you old. How did you get such a good delta on your small account trade? Was it because you bought the same day expiration and those are cheaper? Yes. Yeah, I didn't even look at the delta. To be honest with you, I didn't even look at delta. I just took the relatively less expensive, right around $1, which is probably like a 20-30 delta on a daily expiration. But yes, Carlos, those were only $77 a piece per contract. I was trading the daily expiration. And at that point in time, we were $2 out of the money. So we opened, we started the push on up. Those puts are dropping in price because you're further away from the money. And then we nailed it to the penny, and then it dropped instantaneously, pretty much into the money at $3.94. So that's how we were able to go from a $77 per contract investment to $140 at that low within about 20 minutes. I'm gonna get the SPY and QQQ tattooed on my my knuckles. SPY QQQ. No, it's got to be 4. I don't know. What are we doing? Tesla, TSLA. We'll get Tesla here. Every time I trade Tesla, Tesla punches me in the face. That's what we'll do. We'll get Tesla tattooed on the knucks. Or we'll go FUCK. Fuck Tesla. That's it. Every time it's like, trade Tesla, Josh. I'm like, nah. Fuck Tesla. Does Fidelity allow same-day expirations? They do not, unfortunately. Do I always trade daily expirations, or do you keep those for when you're expecting a quick dump like today? Well, Fidelity, you can't trade daily expirations, which I wish you could. So on the small account with Lightspeed, you can trade daily expiration. So when I can trade a daily, I'll trade a daily because the options are less expensive. You can afford to get 5 or 10 on a smaller account and lock in big profits with this market volatility. But on my main account, I typically do trade Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. And since you can't do dailies, I always go to the next expiration. So if it's Monday, I can't trade Monday, I'll go Wednesday. The Wednesday, I can't trade Wednesday, I'll go Friday, and that's how I trade on Fidelity. Small account, I'll trade dailies. All right, things are slowing down substantially right now at this point in time, guys. I mean, there is just nothing happening. You're trying to get a QQQ bounce. You're trying to get a SPY break of the wedge. You got, Tesla trying to move on up. It's just not like the best kind of movement to be involved, right? The market has gotten a little choppy since what, 10, 15-ish? About 30 minutes of just kind of uncertainty, indecisive chop. I mean, we nailed our trade. I mean, we got your one and done. You got your 100% today. Right? Nailed it at 396.35. You took it down as close to the 200 SMA as possible. And now you're just chopping. And I expect this kind of price action for at least a few days. As we're between the 200-day moving average and the 50, I expect this kind of, more or less choppiness. Maybe at the start of the day, we got some great trades, but coming in through lunch, it's definitely going to be a challenge. I definitely think it's going to be a bit of a challenge, guys. So where is your resistance level? I mean, I'm still going to say your resistance is at your 50 SMA. That's resistance. All right. And then support, where is it? 200 SMA, 393. So I do believe you just kind of sit here in between these two levels until you get a break above or a crack below, and then we start really thinking about some bigger picture trades. But right now, the one thing you have to be mindful of is you are slightly more bearish than bullish, right? Why is that? Well, the main reason you're a little bit more bearish than bullish because you cracked that trend line, right? You're bullish above the 200 SMA. You're bearish below the 50 SMA. So you're equal, right? It's 50-50. But you just cracked that uptrend going from the bullish side to the bearish side. So now you can actually say you got a little bit more bearishness than bullishness here. So right now you're about 60-40, in my opinion. But you still got to wait and get a little bit more validation. Like, what are we going to do here in between those two levels? Okay? And that's all. That's all. You got to be patient and wait. Don't trade the market. In my opinion, it's going to be a little on the choppier side, a little bit on the inconsistent side. And why would you want to go red on the day or give any of your profits back? There's a point in time to be in the market, and right now I don't think it's the time. All right? So Trader Adam, I was kind of reading what's going on in options chat, like you and Stir having the conversation. Still struggling mentally. Just know that mentality and mindset is an ongoing everyday process. And that's why I include mindset-related work in my morning routine, right? Just to make sure that I really strengthen and really clear my mindset as good as possible. So what I like to do is meditate. I think meditate's really nice to clear the thoughts, to get you back into the present moment. Meditation goes a long way, and you can meditate as many times throughout the day as possible. Breathing techniques help, right? If you can like Wim Hof breathing, that's cool to do with meditation. But really just, it's all about when you wake up, what's the first hour look like? And really making sure the first hour, 2 hours of your day is as mentally constructive as possible. So for example, waking up at a set time, getting a set amount of sleep, that's going to be huge. What do they call that? The REM cycle. You're going to get into that REM cycle. You're going to get your REM sleep. Your body's going to be on a natural, 7-hour clock to where you're just going to feel good. Wake up, drink some water, not caffeine or coffee at first, cold shower, just doing these little teeny things is really like an internal discipline. Really enforces the discipline that you're waking up, you make your bed, you chug water, you get into a cold shower, right? And just having a very consistent first 30-minute routine, which really just going to help reinforce the discipline that you're following the rules and the things that you say you're going to do. And then from a mental standpoint, if you have a lot of like maybe some lingering frustrations or anything like that, meditation goes a long way in the morning to flush that out, to get you back into the present moment, and just to know that you're in control. You have the power to make great decisions, and just say that to yourself every day as an affirmation. I'm in control. I have the power to choose, right? I have the power to realize, should I trade today or not? Should I not? I have the power to say, no, let's paper. Hey, I feel fantastic. I have the power to choose and make sure I take only the best trades, and always just repeat that self. And that's going to really strengthen the mindset. Meditation to eliminate the noise, get you in that present, powerful control moment right here, right now, goes a long way. And anything that helps, strengthen your mind, reading a good book, it doesn't matter what it is, but just anything that you can do the first 30 minutes, an hour and a half of your day is really going to help strengthen you, mentally, help the mentality game. And that's an ongoing process. Just when you think you've got it mastered and you've hit it on the head, hey, I'll tell you what, that's complacency. You got to work on it every single day. Like I meditate every morning. I pray every morning. Some mornings I'm not great. Some mornings I slip up. But when I slip up and I don't have, say, time because maybe I slept in, I'm human, I make mistakes, I realize, hey, maybe today's a day I don't really trade. Maybe today's a day that I scale back on my position. So if I do not perform the best, I'm not taking thousands of dollars of losses. Maybe it's $100 or so. Like, you're human. There are going to be those days where you sleep in a little bit longer, where you don't get your full morning routine in. And those are the days that you have the opportunity to say, all right, today's a little funky to start. Let's make sure that we don't trade the market and just maybe watch the market, maybe paper trade, maybe learn something. I don't have to trade today, right? I tell you what, man, some of the best traders trade the least. I tell you guys my story from July of 2020, where I traded literally 10 of the 20 days and I had my biggest month ever. You don't have to trade every single day. Some days it's okay to not trade at all. Scale back, paper account, it's okay. The days you're in the market, the days you're focused, and the days you trade, those are your big money making days. I know we talk a lot about $500 a day is 10 grand a month, but if you can find that one great trade a week, right? That one great trade a week that gets you $2,500, isn't that easier than $500 a day, $500 a day, $500 a day? I'd rather personally get that one great trade a week. That's $2,500 versus having to go $500 a day. I still have the mindset of $500 a day, 25 a week, 10K a month. But I like those great trades to where we can get positioned correctly with the least amount of risk, to where those are the trades that have the potential to do 2, 3, 4K in that trade, because then it just takes the pressure off. And it doesn't make you feel like you have to trade every day. But again, back to the mindset mentality thing, you got to work on it every single day. It's an ongoing process to really strengthen that. And just when you think you've mastered it, that's when you got to say, okay, I'm getting complacent. Time to really pour even more into that personal development side. But it happens, man. It's an ongoing process. But we're going to have those days where you don't feel 100%. We're going to have those days where we're a little frustrated. We're going to have those days where we struggle. We're going to have those days. It happens. We're human. But we have to reinforce ourselves that, hey, this is a part of life. We're not going to be running at 100% every single day. We're going to have those days where we're running at 20%. But guess what? I'm still in control. I have the power to choose. to make the great best decisions possible, to still make this day as good as it can be. But if I'm not feeling 100%, like I can choose and make the decision to not trade. I can choose to maybe just watch a video and re-educate myself. I can choose. I don't have to trade. The market doesn't pull me in and decide what I do. I decided what I do when I'm here. So you're going to have those days. But the nice thing is if you're ongoing, actively, always working on your mind and the personal development as a day-to-day thing, what you're going to notice is it's not so 50-50. 50% of the time you're feeling great, 50% of the time you're feeling low. 50% of the time you're feeling great, 50% of the time you're feeling low. It'll be more 80-20. 80% of the time you're feeling great, more consistently, longer durations. You may have that fall off, but you bounce back very quick. It's not as balanced. You actually have the better outweighing the worse. You know, the good days, the good feelings outweighing the days of feeling not 100%, right? As long as you're actively every day working on yourself. So I just wanted to hit on that and talk about that out loud. Yeah, I meditate every morning. 10-minute meditation. I do a presence meditation. It brings me into the present moment, right? Just really helps me eliminate the noise, come back into the present moment, and just always keep this in mind. The present is where you have power, right? Here in the present moment is where you're the most powerful. If you're thinking about the future, you're powerless. You think about the past, you're powerless. You can't do anything about the past. Can't really do anything about the future. Can't predict it. Here in the present moment is where you're the most powerful, and the decisions you make right now will directly impact how your future looks. But you can't predict what's going to happen in the future. You can't control what's happened in the past. So why do we spend most of our time thinking about things that happened in the past? Or why do we spend a lot of our time worrying about something that could happen in the future that hasn't even happened yet? That's where people get lost, is in the past and the future. Meditation helps bring us back into the present moment where we're the most in control, where we have the most amount of power to make the best decisions possible now, which will directly impact how our future turns out. That's the purpose of meditation. A lot of people think it's like zen-y and corny. Nah, guys, it literally helps you get out of the past, get out of the future, back into the present moment, and that is scientifically where we have the most amount of control, power, and we can decide what our future looks like. So meditation's fantastic. I absolutely love it. 5:30, wake up, do some sort of workout. It could be a workout, mobility, stretching. Mobility goes a long way. That's huge. Cold shower, love it. Read, meditate, digging it. Affirmations, yeah. Express gratitude, right? With affirmations, express gratitude as well. Like, I'm grateful for the ability to be able to trade. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for the life that I have, because, like, let's be honest, our lives could be a lot worse than what they are. But yet we always look at how it could be better. Like, oh, our life could be so much better. We could have the nice car and the nice watch and the nice house. But hold on, wait. Think about it the other way. Could our life be a lot worse? Could we not have running clean water? Could we not have electricity? Could we not have food? Like, it could be a lot worse. So why do we always think like how much better it could be? Like, it could be a lot worse. So express gratitude. They did a study with gratitude. Like, the people that express daily gratitude and daily affirmations on average have a higher vibration and a higher frequency and a higher energy level on average for 2 to 3 weeks after the day that they expressed the gratitude. So just imagine you're doing gratitude journaling or just saying what you're grateful for out loud, and the affirmations and the positivity. You're increasing your vibration, your energy level, your frequency, right? And that lingers and stays for a long time. And that's how you're always feeling good all the time. Like, you guys got to read the book. What I don't even book now. It's not Office. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. Yeah, that's it. I don't even, oh yeah, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. You want to get deep into like the energy and the frequency from a scientific fact. Yeah, you definitely need to read that book. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Joe Dispenza. Great book. Fantastic book there. Yeah, that's a good book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And yeah, it really goes into the whole everything's energy from a scientific fact. Everything's just energy. We are just energy. At the subatomic level, we're energy. We are vibrating. And everything's vibrating. Everything has its own frequency, its own vibration levels, its own energy levels. You know, have you ever heard like you are who you surround yourself with? If you surround yourself with a lot of people that complain and play that victim mentality and are always like sad, right? Their vibration levels are really low and it pulls your vibration level down with it. So you start to become like the people you hang out with. If you surround yourself with positive, upbeat, happy, joyful people all the time, and that's what you surround yourself with, they're on a higher vibration, higher frequency level. That's going to pull you up along with it. So it's really true shit. And breaking the habit of being yourself goes into that from a scientific standpoint. Talks about the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system, like fight or flight, the safety mode, like how you can control that, like how you can control basically what state you're in. Like is your nervous system like the sympathetic nervous system where it's fight or fight? Or is it parasympathetic where you feel in control, you don't have the worries, the fears, and that's where you're powerful? It's a crazy stuff what you read in that book from just like a psychological mentality standpoint. It's really, really crazy on how deep it goes, but it's a very powerful book. I recommend that book to anybody. All right, we're done, guys. You're just hearing me talk now at this point in time, but let's be honest. I mean, you had one great trade in a penny stock, 875 break to 10. Congrats. Nvidia never did anything. Alphabet never did anything. QQQ, slow and steady. SPY right now, slow and steady. There are no trades right now at this point in time, guys. No trades whatsoever. So if you guys have questions, you got 1 minute to do so before we wrap up our Friday session. Go enjoy your weekend. Take care. Stay blessed. Love you all. And just go out there and crush it. Don't give those profits back either. Life lessons being dropped all day, every day. Enjoy your birthday. Appreciate it. Anniversary. Appreciate it. And the birth of my daughter. Appreciate it. Yeah, the trifecta tomorrow, maybe, right? Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, if you guys are on YouTube, again, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Free Stream Friday. Hope you guys enjoyed today's session. You guys locked in some great profits, which is amazing. You guys have any questions about joining the Alpha community? You could hit us up anytime, Josh at alphadaytrading.com, or DM us over on the socials, TikTok and Instagram. And either myself or a member will be able to reach out to you and answer any questions that you guys have unbiasedly. All right. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, inside of chat, good job today. Good work. I love you all. Way to come in. Way to crush it. We had some 100% winners today, and you guys are making me proud. So, again, congratulations. Enjoy those profits. And most importantly, enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. Thinking about me. Now, think about me. Wish me a happy birthday tomorrow. All right? No, I'm kidding. I don't really care. I'll be 30, big freaking whoop-de-whoop. But, again, team, you deserve those profits. You've earned the profits that you made this week. So enjoy those profits, okay? Keep up the amazing work. Keep locking in those amazing profits. Enjoy your weekend. Have a safe weekend. Have a blessed weekend. And I'll see you guys back here bright and early this Money Monday as we finish our February trading. We got 2 days left. Let's make it the best 2 days. Continue to roll this momentum into March like we've done so far from January to February. Now, March Madness right around the corner. Some big things coming, some big things happening. I'm excited to make it happen with you guys. I'm excited to keep trading with you and continue to watch you lock in those profits, guys. All right? Enough's enough. Enough is said. You guys know the drill. How are we going to end it right now at this point in time? How are we going to end it? Someone hit me with it. I want to see everybody inside the chat right now. Hit me with a big ol' Alpha Day Trading 3. Waiting for it. 2. Steve's got me. 1 at the same time. Woo! And that is a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Take care. Enjoy your weekend. Be smart. Be safe. Stay blessed, baby. I love you all. Take care. I'll see you this Money Monday, 7 a.m. I'll see you guys then.